How do you build wealth during high inflation? Well, the answer is simple but complex at the same time. But it's no different than any other time frame. Whenever you're thinking about investments, you have to understand what are the in-demand type of assets given in different scenarios. So there are different asset classes that thrive in any one scenario. Overall, I tend to be a proponent of trying to build a portfolio that sustains any time frame, no matter what happens, because the really key to building wealth is consistent compounding, regardless of the time frame, regardless of whether you're in a recession, regardless of whether you're in an inflationary environment, any of these different things. So a typical like stock and bond portfolio that goes all over the place every year, that's to me not the real way to build money or real way to build wealth. I mean, if you look at all the millionaires and billionaires out there, the way they built wealth was not from a 60-40 portfolio. It was from investing in companies, investing in real estate, investing in sustainable compounding. Those are the ways you build wealth. In an inflationary environment, one of the things that you can do is, like right now, there are going to be a lot of business owners that are getting pinched because of inflation, because of bad business practices, running inefficient businesses. They may be very recession-proof businesses, but may not enable tech to survive a recession, all these sorts of things. So there's going to be a lot of retirees that may decide this is the last recession they want to go through, the last inflationary market they want to go through. And so what they may just decide to go ahead and retire. Because there's a lot of businesses that are for sale right now, and you can buy a business with 90+% leverage, aka you can use like a small business administration loan or SBA loan to buy a business. And buying that business, because of where inflation is, let's say you pay 5% interest on an SBA loan, maybe higher, but right now inflation, on paper is like 9%. In reality, it's probably much higher, but you're paying that debt back with cheaper dollars. So you're getting a good cash flowing business that hopefully is recession proof. You could add some technological innovations or some new thinking to an old business, and you're basically buying it with deteriorating dollars. That's a real great way to build wealth. But other great ways that's simpler is investing in things like farmlands or other different types of commodities or gold or Bitcoin. All these things are, in theory, are things that basically work well in an inflationary market. So for example, inflation is really just the increasing price of things. Well, if you invest in commodities or invest in farmland, you're actually just buying those things. So if the prices of those things are going up, so are your investments. Bitcoin is designed to be kind of anti-inflationary. And so by having a Bitcoin in your portfolio or even just fractional Bitcoin in your portfolio, that could be another way to build wealth in the current environment. So really just understanding what the things that are benefiting in this market, that's the best way to build wealth. But also, again, just thinking, how can my wealth, how can my assets survive whatever is thrown its way without a 50% crash or 30% crash? That's really what matters when it comes to building wealth, is how do you not only build it, but keep the money that you actually earned? Because that's going to be the most important thing right now, is inflation is deteriorating your money. And so how do you prevent it from deteriorating your money? You have to have things that prevent that and that prevent losses. So going into a recession where potentially you're going to see stock values plummet and other asset values plummet while your dollar's also deteriorating, you're going to see a lot of lost wealth coming up. But you're also going to see a lot of opportunities coming up for those that are prepared. And by doing your homework, doing your research, following this channel, you'll learn different ways that you can build wealth regardless of the circumstances, including an inflationary environment.